What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to TTV Sports. Yes, it's been a little bit, but football season is back, and nothing feels better. Distraction from the other team, that is the Philadelphia Phillies, if I do say so myself. But it's nice because this was a very entertaining game, and there's going to be a lot of question marks about this Eagles football team going into the season, just what they are going to be. Expectations aren't really that high, so I just think it's going to be an exciting season. Just see how this team progresses, how Jalen Hurts showcases himself, how Nick Sirianni showcases himself. And this game was a very good first one as they beat the Atlanta Falcons 32-6. Just what a game in general. Starting off, I would say it was a little rusty, and that's to be expected. It's the first week of the season. You're getting into your first game action in who knows how long. And yeah, you're going to be rusty. The defense, especially on the rush for the Eagles, wasn't the best. But as the game was going on, progressing, the Eagles got a lot better on the defensive side of the ball. And just offensively, they cashed in. And that's what they did. And also the Falcons, they were getting into the penalty trouble a lot, which helped the Eagles as well. Especially like guys like Calvin Ridley getting a couple of pass interferences on the offense. And for the Falcons, it just wasn't a good time, I guess you can say. But for the Eagles, man, that performance by Jalen Hurts today, and basically a lot of people showed up. A lot. Jalen Hurts especially, probably the star of the game. Miles Sanders, especially in the second half of the ball game, really showed up there. DeVonta Smith looking really good in his first NFL action. Jalen Reagor, he was pretty quiet early on too, but he made a big play, especially on the late touchdown later in the game. And you also got Dallas Goedert making a couple of plays, Zach Ertz making a couple of plays, Quez Watkins, he was a little bit early on there. So a lot of people did step up, and especially on the defensive side too. Javon Hargrave, he is a monster. Oh my goodness. There were just a stretch of Javon Hargrave and Hassan Ridgeway, just like sack after sack after sack. These guys are monsters. I'm like, what the hell is going on? But then also I want to think again, it is the Atlanta Falcons. They're not that good of a team, but still, the way they were getting to Matt Ryan, just the way they were pressuring through the defensive line, and also give a lot of credit to the offensive line too for how banged up they were last year. They were really good today at protecting Jalen Hurts, and he was able to do his thing in this ballgame, which was a really good sight to see. And if you look at Jalen Hurts' stats throughout this entire game, 27 out of 35 in his attempts, 264 yards in total, 3 touchdowns, and his QB rating was a 126.4. Very impressive performance out of Jalen Hurts. If you want to look at some of the rushers, Miles Sanders, he had 15 carries. He ran for 74 yards. Kenneth Gainwell, he also got his first touchdown in this game. He got 9 carries, 37 yards total. Jalen Hurts also rushed the ball a few amount of times. If you want to look at the receiving side as well, DeVonta Smith, he got 6 receptions, 71 yards on his game, his first touchdown in his career. Jalen Reagor, he had 6 receptions, 49 yards total. He got that 1 touchdown late in the game. And Dallas Goedert, he showed up a little bit too, got 4 catches on 5 targets. And I know a lot of people are going to want to question his touchdown. And yeah, definitely I want to question it too, because it definitely looked like he didn't have full control of the ball. When he went into the end zone, it kind of looked like it was bobbling a little bit in his hands and it touched the turf before I guess he couldn't make full control of the ball. But it was a weird sequence. It was like one of those replays where it was too tough to tell, especially when you're in the end zone too, where it's just the entire paint is black and it's hard to tell like where the ball actually is, and it's kind of blending into the entire surface. But it kind of looked a little bit like the ball was bobbling and it hit the field before he had full control of it. But I guess the NFL, the referees, they just decided that it was one of those replays. It was just too tough to overturn. So I guess that's where that stood. And yeah, there were a lot of other questionable things in this game too, like early on with all the fouls, the false starts, which was expected. Like I said earlier, it's the first game of the season, especially when you don't have really any preseason games for like the past week and a half or so. So those rusts are going to eventually happen. But thankfully, the Eagles really stepped up during this game. And there were a couple of 4th down plays that the Eagles went for, especially early on in the ball game when they were close. And that was one of the more plays that I agreed with. They didn't convert on it. It just turned out into an ugly situation. Jalen Hurts couldn't get the ball out, and he had to run out of bounds. but more the one that was, I would say, halfway through the game where they were in offensive territory and maybe Nick Sirianni should have chose to kick the field goal and instead he tried to go for it on fourth down. Maybe that was one of those other situations where he probably shouldn't have because you got the running back, he couldn't get over the line. So it was just I wouldn't say it was a terrible decision. It was just like one was good, one was bad. I'm not going to bomb Nick Sirianni just because of that entire decision making right there. It's his first game, for crying out loud. But hell, Nick Sirianni made a lot of good things happen in this game. I'm very impressed in his first official game as Eagles head coach. But still, when you're looking at the entire picture, it's 1 week. Let's not get too ahead of ourselves. I still think, like I said, I don't have any expectations for this Eagles team. I'm just here for the ride. I'm here to see how this team can grow over the showcase of the entire season, how Jalen Hurts can grow, how Nick Sirianni can grow, how all of these other young pieces can grow, mixed in with a lot of the veteran talent on this roster, which is going to be very exciting too. And just going over some of the plays too, the DeVonta Smith touchdown, 19-yard reception, it was just, oof. It was beautiful. It was a beautiful pass from Jalen Hurts. And then you also got the play where you had the Jalen Reagor, where you got Jordan Mailata. You just like, what the hell? He just runs someone over, making the path clear for Reagor as he takes it into the end zone later in the ball game as well. And also some other interesting plays. Miles Sanders, he got some good rushes in there. And also Miles Sanders had a huge block on a huge pass from Hurts to DeVonta Smith for one of the first downs later on in the ball game as well. So overall, I think it was just a very good ball game from this Eagles team. There's really not much to complain about. If you want to complain about all the early stuff, like all the fouls and everything, and it got cleaned up later in the ball game. It did. There were a lot of false starts. There definitely was, but it's the first game. I'm not going to hold this team accountable for making mistakes in the first game of the season. That's probably going to be expected from them. But still, very impressed from this team and what they showcased in the first game. And let's see what they can do going into the future, because I'm not sure, because if I want to look at the rest of their schedule coming up as well, because you got the 49ers coming up next week, and then you got the Cowboys on a Monday Night Football game on the 27th of September. So if you look at the rest of the schedule too, you got the Chiefs on October 3rd, you got the Panthers on the 10th, Buccaneers on the 14th of October, Raiders on the 24th, Lions on Halloween, you got the Chargers on the first game of November, Broncos on November 14th, Saints on the 21st, Giants on the 28th, Jets on December 5th, Washington on the 19th, Giants on the 26th, Washington on January 2nd, and Cowboys on the final day of the season on January 9th. So looking at this schedule, am I going to predict every single game? No. I'm not going to do that but right now this team is just a big unknown. They are. And going into this game too, I think Atlanta was favored in the money line for this game. So if you did bet on the Eagles today, hopefully you got some good money there. But still, this team is going to be a major question mark in just every game. It's just hard to predict, because you don't know what this team is going to be. Is Jalen Hurts going to have this same type of performance going into next week? Is this team going to have this same type of performance when they face off against tougher competition? I have no idea. And that's probably the beauty of it, because you don't know what's going to happen, and maybe it'll surprise you as you go into the weeks. So that's something I guess we can look forward to as the upcoming games happen. And your next one is on September 19th against the San Francisco 49ers. So definitely excited for that. It's going to be the first game back at Lincoln Financial Field. I'm assuming it's going to be a full capacity crowd, so I guess it's going to be nice seeing all the Eagles fans there for the first time in a while. So yeah, very excited from this game. I like what the Eagles showcased. I like what Jalen Hurts did, Nick Sirianni, everyone basically. So I want to hear your thoughts down in the comment section below. As always, do not forget to leave those down there. Do not forget to drop a like on this video as well. Do not forget to check out the Painted Lines, which I'm a part of. The links are down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out the links to BrodesMedia, the Flyer.pod merch website, and also Flyers Nitty Gritty. All that good stuff is down in the description below. And the most important thing you can do is hit that subscribe button. I will greatly appreciate if you do that. And I will see you next time.